All right, a little bit of a more difficult concept in here is what a conditional distribution means. So it's conditional on one of our categories. So we're either going to go by row or column in our spreadsheet on that. So let me try and explain that a little better. So I'm going to do this with just some calculations first. So I'm going to highlight, if I can get that to select, all this stuff in my table, not including the totals. I just don't want to have to retype them all and make you watch. So I'm going to copy those and just stick them over here on the side. And I'm going to get rid of all these numbers. Okay, let me widen this column out so it looks a little better. All right, so if I wanted a conditional distribution, I'm going to look at just the black vehicles. So I want to know, of the 35 black vehicles, what percent were luxury cars and what percent were SUVs, vans. So in here, I can put in equals so it can calculate. I'm going to take the 22 luxury cars divided by the 35 total black cars. Okay, so that tells me about 63% of luxury cars were black cars. So over in this one, I'm going to say 13 were SUVs divided by 35 that were black. So again, it makes sense that that would be 100% of all black cars. So 63% were luxury, 37% were SUVs. Those two would add up to 100% if I added those together. And I could do the same for all the other ones. Okay. And again, I could use some cell references, but let me go this way. So I'm going to click in here, put equals. I'm going to take 16 divided by 32. Okay. Now, I can do the same thing with the filling down. So I always want to be dividing by, take this one divided by the one over here when I go across. So I could make this, remember we did the dollar signs and made that an absolute cell reference. Hit enter. Okay, and I could fill that over. So notice those are both 50-50 because there was 16 of each and there was 32 cars that were silver. And we could go through and finish out all of those, and that would be a conditional distribution because it's conditional on the color of the car. Now I could also do, I'm going to get rid of that for a second. I could do conditional on the type of car. So in that case, I'd take 22 black luxury SUVs divided by 100 luxury cars. So now I'm saying 22% of all luxury cars were black. So I'm dividing by the total of a column in this case. Now what's kind of nice is that's a lot of calculations if you want to do that by hand, but there's a graph built into the Google Sheets that will do that for you quickly. So I could highlight all these things, not including the totals, and I can say insert a chart, and it makes a stacked column chart. Now, this one would tell you, it also tells you the height is how many vehicles in there. I kind of want to just know how they split out by colors, SUV and luxury. So instead of just a stacked column chart, I'm going to do what's called a 100% stacked, which is right down over here, 100% stacked column chart. So I can't tell how many are in each column, but I can see, yep, as far as the black ones go, okay, there are more luxury cars than SUVs that are black in color. Okay, as far as silver ones, there are more SUV. Well, let's see, it's pretty close. That's 50-50. Okay, so right at 50%. White pearl, there's much more luxury cars that are white pearl than there are SUVs. Okay, it looks like gray, it's about 50-50. A few more SUVs than there are luxury cars. But This 100% stack gives you a marginal distribution. So this is marginal by the color. Now I could also, let's see, where's that other one? It's a little hard to see here, but I can switch the rows and columns. And notice it switches, so now it's marginal by the type of vehicle. Okay, so then by the type of vehicle, we can see how those colors split out. So that is conditional on the type of vehicle. Okay, so again, if I went down here and I switch back, this is conditional on the color. If I switch back, then it's conditional on the type of vehicle. So the graph is either going by rows or columns when it's conditional. Hopefully that makes a little better sense.